Hello again, it's Miss V. Today we'll be looking at some real-world scenarios in which you would need to convert between units of time. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at slide A. Look at the number line below. What do you notice? What does this make you wonder? And what does this make you think about time? So go ahead and answer those three questions, and when you're ready, go ahead and unpause. So what did you notice? Did you notice that did you notice that at 12 o'clock it is either midnight or midday? Did you notice that the number line starts and ends at 12? Did you notice that there are 24 hours in a day? Well, if we count how many tick marks there are, it's going to be intervals there are 24. You might have also noticed that there are 3 birds here. What did you wonder? Did you wonder how many hours are in 2 days? Did you wonder how many minutes are in 1 day? What does this make you think about time? Does this make you think that time is made up of larger and smaller units? For example, a year can be broken down to months, which can be broken down the months can be broken down to weeks and days and hours and minutes and seconds. Yeah, let's take what we took from this little image here and apply it to our next slide. So here, we just mentioned here in this slide that there are 24 hours in a day. And we see that we have a table. And we need to figure out how many hours are in 1 day, how many hours are in 2 days, and so forth. So we also have our analog clock here, right? And we see that 12, just like we did in that previous slide, right? 12 hours to go from midnight to midday, and 12 hours to go from midday to midnight. I want you to take what you noticed from the previous slide and help you figure out the table. Now you can also use the clock of the number line to help you if you want. When you're ready, you go ahead and unpause. Okay, so from the previous slide, we noticed that 1 day is made up of 24 hours. So that means 2 days is 48 hours, and so forth. Right? And 10 days would be 240. You might have used the number line to help you as well. So if you use the number line, you can see, thinking again to the previous slide, we start at 12, let's say 12 midnight. It's going to take us 12 hours to reach midday. So we know then we have to go from midday to night. So it's another 12 hours. So a total of 24 hours in 1 day. So again, thinking about your rule, well, your rule going down is to add 24, right? But again, like in the previous segments we've had together, if I tell you how many hours are in 362 days, it's going to be a really long table. So thinking about going across, how do I go from 1 to 24, from 2 to 48, and so forth? I know my number's getting bigger, so I'm going to be multiplying because I already used addition going down. So 1 times what is 24, 2 times what is 48, 3 times what is 72. And the rule would be to multiply the number of days by 24. Okay, so you're going to multiply the number of days by 24, and that will give you the amount of hours in that amount of days. All right. Let's go now to the next slide to help us answer this question. So I actually have the table here for you guys too, so you don't have to go back and forth between the slides. How many hours are in 14 days? Now thinking back to how we tackled similar problems in other segments together, how can you use the table to help you figure that out? So go ahead and answer that question. When you're ready, go ahead and unpause. All right, so thinking back to how we tackled similar problems in the past, I'm looking for 14 days. Now, 14 days is not here, but I do have 7 days. And why is 7 a good number to use? Yeah, Yeah, it's half of 14, right? So if I double 7, it's going to bring me to 14 days. And if I double 168 hours, it'll find me the equivalent of how many hours are in 14 days. So I could just go ahead and I could even just add if I feel more comfortable adding. 8 and 8 is 16, 6 and 6 is 12, plus the 1 that was carried over is 13, and 3 ones gives me 336 hours. Now I could have also tackled it a little bit differently, and maybe you tackled it slightly differently too. Maybe you looked at, okay, how can I add up to 14? I could do 10 plus 4, right? And we can go ahead and do that as well. 240 plus 96. 0 and 6 is 6. 4 and 9 gives me 13. 1 and 2 gives me 3. And I get that same same answer of 336 hours. Of course, you could have also used the rule. We know that 1 day is equal to 24 hours. So we could have gone ahead and done 14 times the 24 hours. And that would have also given us 336 hours. All right, you ready for some more? Now that we've gotten a little bit more comfortable with converting from days to hours, let's see if we could tackle this problem here. So it says, how many hours are there in 4 weeks and 3 days? Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about weeks yet. I know we didn't. I want you to go ahead and try solving this. I'm going to bring up that same chart that we had on the previous slide. Why don't you go ahead and tackle this problem? If we're only talking about days and hours here, think about what you're going to have to do to those weeks. All right, go ahead and solve this. When you're ready, you could go ahead and unpause. All right, so what did you notice we had to do first? Yeah, we had to figure out how many days there are in weeks. Oh, why didn't it just do it for us, right? So we have to think about 4 weeks is equal to how many days? Right, we already have 3 days here. That's fine. We know that. But 4 weeks, well, what do we know? We know that 1 week is 7 days, right? So that means 2 weeks is equal to 14 days. I'm starting to see something here. 3 weeks would be 21 days. 4 weeks would be 28 days, right? We're counting by 7 if we go down, right? 7, 14, 21, 28. Or we're multiplying by 7 across, right? So 28 days. Go ahead and erase this because I ran out of space. All right. Go back to business now. So I have 28 days, but I also have those 3. Don't forget those 3. So we have 28 plus 3 gives us 31 total days. Again, we have the table here. We've done so much work already. Use the table to help you. So I'm going to go to that biggest number that I know, which is the 10. So that's 10. I need to get to 31. So I'm going to do 240, that's for 10 days. Another 240, that's 20 days now. 240 again, that's 30 days, and I need 1 more day. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 more day, which is 24 hours. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this all up. 0, 0, 0 plus 4 is 4. 4, 4, and 2, right? That's 8 and 2 makes 10, plus 4 more gives me 14. 2, 4, 6, and 1 more makes 7. So I get here 744 hours. Now, what was a different way we could have solved this? Well, we could have done 10 plus 5, times that by 2, and then add the 1, right? We could have done 240, which is 10 plus 5. That accounts for, we can put that in parentheses, that accounts for 15 days. So 4 and 2 is 6, 2 and 1 is 3. And then if we go ahead and double that, That's now going to account for 30 days. 6 and 6 is 12. 3 and 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then we need one more day, which we'd add 24 to. And we get that same answer of 744 hours. Again, you could have gone ahead and just done 28 times 24. You would have done a little bit more work there because we had a lot of the work already done, but that's perfectly fine to solve it that way as well. Ready for one more? I knew you were. Let's go ahead and take a look at this next slide here. So it says here on slide N, Jeremy practices jumps from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. How many minutes did he practice? Go ahead and solve this question. When you're ready, you could go ahead and unpause. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this question. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly draw a number line here. And okay, so they're not really that equally spaced, but here is 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So between 4 and 5, it's 1 hour, another hour, so it's 3 hours. Right, and if we take our table that we had, where we converted hours into minutes, we can see that 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is 120, and 3 hours is 180 minutes, right? We could go ahead and solve that by multiplying, knowing that our rule is 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So 3 times the 60 minutes would give us 180 minutes for 3 hours. So we can write 3 hours is equal to 180 minutes. All right, guys, great job today. That brings us to the end of this video segment. I hope this video was helpful in solving some real-world scenarios in which you would need to convert between units of time. Great job today. I'll see you next time.